Welcome, race fans. This is Ron with Big Wizard TV, and we are live on the air here at Twitch TV tonight, making the switch over to Twitch. Maybe they did that on purpose. Who knows? Hey, we're watching some Procraft Formula One Series racing tonight, and we are having some fun here at Mount Panorama. This is the Procraft Formula One iRacing Series, and we have 11, I believe, 11 drivers so far on the racetrack. And we'll get some other information here for you in just a minute. We should have an awesome race. This place is amazing. This is quite the racetrack. First, want to go through where we are and what we're doing. We're running the W12 tonight. This is the Mercedes W12 Formula One car from 2021. We have 3 different tire compounds for the race tonight. We have the red soft tires, the yellow medium compound tires, and then the white hard compound tires. The drivers will pick which compound they run for each section of the race. Qualifying, they can run the softs. They get as many tires as they want. There's no limit. So they can run the soft compound tires in the race and in qualifying, and then during the race there's a mandatory switch, so everybody has to switch tires tonight at least once during the actual feature race. During qualifying you can use as many sets of tires as you want. During the race you can use as many as you want, but chances are you're only going to want to stop one time. Let's get some details on the race. Wow, this camera angle is driving me nuts. iRacing is having a blast with switching the camera. So let's just go to a TV1. Ooh. See if it can stick with something for a little while as we get through some announcements and some information. We've got the standings now. 3 races in. This is race number 4 of the Procraft Formula One Series Season 2. And Morgan Teggy has won all 3 of the races so far. He picked up the inaugural race at Red Bull, and then won at Sonoma in the Historics, and then he also won last week at Indianapolis. Today we're in the Down Under Grand Prix, Mount Panorama circuit here, and this is an Australian racetrack. And I want to show you the track because this thing is incredible. The elevation change, the way the track works, you can see them. It doesn't quite do justice on the screen here. Maybe if we jump in the car, who are we watching? Who's out there on the racetrack we can watch here? Let's see. From the cockpit, this is going up the hill. This is going up through Quarry, which is turns 7, 8, 9, and across the top. This is the top of the hill, and then watch this downhill as he gets to the end of this little short straight. It just drops off, and it doesn't do it once. It does it a few times, down and down and down. It just keeps dropping, and the turns, super tight concrete walls on both sides. Down again, another drop. It is quite incredible. And then once you're on the bottom, you're wide open down here, and you're still coming down the side of this hill. You go up just slightly, but then you're right back on the downhill, all the way down to the final corner, turn 23, and then the elevation change finally stops as you go across the start-finish line. Then you go across into turn 1, and you go right back up the hill again. This little straightaway even has a little bump in it, but for the most part, that's the straightest part or flattest part of the racetrack. But then you go around turn 1 and you go right back uphill all the way around. So Christian has our quickest lap so far in practice. He is second place in points, but the gap is huge. Christian and Philip Scott both tied for second spot. They're both out here on the racetrack tonight with 74 points. That's 40 points behind Morgan Teggy out in the front. 3 wins for Morgan is putting him in the cockpit, in the driver's seat, so to speak, today in the Procraft Formula One iRacing series. And there he goes. That is Morgan following behind Todd Schwartz out on the racetrack. So Morgan out front in the points. Christian, Phillip, then Bob Wallace, Adam Novotny are the top five. Team Rust Belt Racing just 3 wins, 5 podiums. They've got 172 points with Space Sheep Racing Team, which is Christian and his brother Kelly, and those guys have 101. So there's 71 point gap. Christian and Kelly have got to start making some moves if they're going to do anything against that Constructors Championship. Rust Belt Racing has it, even after just 3 races of the season, has it well in hand. Now, it's only an 8-race season this year, or this time. We're at Mount Panorama today. We flip over to historic Barber Motorsports Park next week. I love Barber. They're in Alabama. It's one of my favorite racetracks, but unfortunately, I'll be in Reno. I won't be home, and I will miss the broadcast on that race. Unless by some miracle I have incredible internet at the hotel, which I haven't seen at any hotels recently. But next week, Barber Motorsports Park, that's race number 5. Then I'll be back here again for the February 2nd race at Road America. That's back in the W13 or the W12 and Long Beach, and finished up in February 16th. We're going to finish it all up at Road Atlanta. 8 races this season, 3 down, 5 to go. Morgan with 3 victories so far. So let's take a look at the racetrack. Here is Mount Panorama. It's funny, the picture I found of the racetrack has the word punish on it. And this is accurate. The hill is huge. It's 170 meters. That's almost 200 yards, which is 600 feet. It's about 550 feet is the difference from the start line to the top of the hill. You come around the first corner, you go across Mountain Straight, and then you go through what they call the cutting. The cutting is the first left-hander up the hill. Very, very tight corner. You go up to the top, you go across Skyline, which is a little short chute, small straightaway at the top, and then you dive down the hill through the S's, into the dipper, through the elbow, and then back down to the bottom. It is exciting to race it. It's exciting to watch it. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Let's see. Let's let him. Why don't we watch him drive around a little bit here? Not that. Oh, as they're trying to get the cars together. We still have about 10 minutes left, 11 minutes left in the practice session. I'll let you kind of watch what's going on for a minute. I will be right back. This is Ron with Big Wizard TV, and we are watching Procraft Formula One Series iRacing at Mount Panorama with the W12 Formula One car. We're on a Big Wizard TV right back here with you, watching the practice session here. Kelly Bishop out on track. That makes number 12. So we got a pretty good field tonight. Kelly getting some warm-up laps in. We've only got, about 7 or so minutes left in the qualifying session. I don't have any countdowns. I have 2 count-ups and no countdowns. How bad is that? I mean, what kind of TV announcer, broadcasting person does that? It's crazy. It's madness. I'm telling you, it's madness. Hey, if you're the viewer, give me a shout. Let me know what you're doing out there in Twitch TV land, Big Wizard TV land. We have all kinds of good racing here for you tonight. We will keep you on track and abreast of what's going on with the race. Should be quite exciting. This track is completely unforgiving. As you can see, boom, into the wall. It's just, it doesn't take any time at all, and it ends your night in a hurry. Now, one thing that's cool here with Procraft Formula One Series racing is that damage healing is turned on. So what happens is if they hit the wall, which happens, they can just get right back in the car, stay in the car, and keep it rolling. As long as the car's not off the complete racing surface, like past the fence and into the trees, or upside down, you can recover and keep going. See, even if you hit something, the car will fix itself and away you go. So not bad. Nice way to race. Little comfortable place to get used to driving and get the car underneath you. If you know anybody out there that wants to join, plenty of room here at Procraft Formula One. Jump in, get yourself an iRacing account, grab the Mercedes W12, and jump on track. Hey, let's say hello. Right here. Hey, there we are. I'm usually here on the air with you. I'm not sure why I didn't turn that on earlier, but hey, I'm here. And whoa, a little spin there. Bunch of spins. As these guys coming down the racetrack, getting together. Like I said, this one's going to be exciting. We're going to have a lot of action going on the racetrack. Let's see. We talked about points. We talked about championship. We talked about the racetrack. Let's go through and talk about the teams. We haven't talked about the teams. We could talk about the teams. Let's see if I can find the teams. Not sure. No, that didn't work. Fail. Let's see. They gotta have a pull down here somewhere. Series home. And sessions. Can't find the teams. Hey, just a little bit about Procraft while we're waiting. Procraftsupply.com is the website. At Procraft, we connect people and communities through technological craftsmanship. We believe human experiences should be elevated. We believe craftsmanship is not a lost art, and we believe expertise and efficiency are essential. These are the standards that fuel our conviction for the craft. From conceptualization to completion, Procraft can design a world-class recording studio, build an integrated audio-visual system, and support enterprise, government, and small business customers with their IT needs. From premium desktop speakers, pocket knives, and multi-tools to coffee, flashlights, bespoke leather journals, Procraft Supply has curated high-quality tools and equipment and supplies for Fortune 500 companies, small business, and now customers like you. Yep, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Procraft is definitely a place to go if you're looking for IT support, or if you're looking to build your own recording studio or integrate an audio-visual system, or even a small studio. These guys can do it, big to small, top to bottom, start to finish. They've got what you need. Procraftsupply.com. Other sponsor, major sponsor here for Big Wizard TV is Stair Fittings Incorporated. Stair Fittings has earned a reputation for its high-quality product and old-fashioned approach to customer service. We will do everything in our power to supply our customers in a timely manner and meet your needs. Our product is manufactured to exacting tolerances, requiring only a minimum of working in, thus making your job easier and faster. We invite you to experience doing business with Stair Fittings and find out for yourself why our customers keep coming back. That is orders.stairfittings.com if you want to check those guys out. If you're looking for anything for your stairs, woodworking, handrails, accessories, anything that goes in a stair, whether it's the tread, the apron, the skirts, the risers, they've got it all. They make it all. They can custom build things if that's what you want to do. And they have impeccable craftsmanship and work ethic, and just a great place, great people. Love them all. Great guys. Orders.stairfittings.com. All right. We talked about the driver standings and the constructor standings. I wanted to go to, that's the race schedule. I know there's teams out here somewhere. Where are the teams, guys? Where are the teams? Hey, I wanted to also shout out, while I'm looking for these teams, series director Christian Bishop runs this league on iRacing for us. Big shout out and thanks to Christian for putting this all together. Wouldn't be what it is without him. We got a great group of guys out here racing. A lot of fun. They have really good fun on and off the track. They share a Discord channel and chit chat all day long. Assistant race director and director of photography, Kelly Bishop. That's his brother and teammate at Spaceship Racing. Sorry. Web administrator, that's Steve Banting. Discord administrator is Tim Barnhart. Stewards are Chris Tartamella, Ed Smith, Bob Wallace. And your broadcast by yours truly, Big Wizard TV. That's me. This is Ron at Big Wizard TV. And we are here as often as we can be to keep you guys informed and on the air. Our grid. Okay, I got the grid. Let's see if I can find the teams. Yes, I found it. Space Sheep Racing team. Christian Bishop, Kelly Bishop. Coast to Coast Racing is Theo Bishop and Will Edwards. Both of all four of those drivers on track tonight. Tim Barnhart, Chris Tartamella, also on track tonight from Audi Romeo. That's their guys' team. Harry Lama Racing. Haven't seen them much this season. Little conflict for them to be out here. Rust Belt Racing. Morgan Teggy, Adam Novotny also out here, leading the points and leading the manufacturer championship. Eagle Race Team. Vincent Tramontana. Haven't seen him this season either. Zero Fox Given Racing. That's Bob Wallace. And he may have a new partner, but we'll see how that works out. As practice is ending, and we're going to start our qualifying session here in just a second. Steve Banting, Ed Smith, no on tonight. Ed's usually around. Yeah, Ed is here, and that is Daewoo Racing Development. They've gone plaid is Todd Schwartz, running with Sean Williams, but I don't see Sean out there tonight. And then Philip Scott, independent driver in the championship, doing pretty good. He is currently third, tied with Christian Bishop for second in the points. Here we go. We're coming out on track for a short 15-minute qualifying session. Let me take care of an adjustment with Race Labs. Let me see if I can get this thing figured out here. Overlays, the standings overlay. As you can see, everybody's in the Mercedes, so we probably don't need that one on. Oh, and I was going to do this for qualifying. Oh, hang on. I got a good one. Let's see. I need to make a couple changes, and I'll have it up. We got a few minutes. I'll get it done. Tire compounds, turn those on. Tire compound history show. Top speed I'm going to have on. No, I'm going to have off. You got the lap times up there, tire compounds up there. I need to turn off the manufacturer's name. There we go. You don't need to know that they're all in the Mercedes. I'll tell you. They're all in the Mercedes. All right. Now what I want to do, though, So I want to bring up this new overlay that I had last week. Oh, I love this overlay. Let me scoot the flag down just a little, or the track map down just a touch, so you can see. Ooh. Okay, there we go. All right. Now what we're going to have on here, fastest lap time, is what's going to show drivers in order with the fastest lap time and the session timer on the top right, and then what lap the driver is on that we're looking at, and total laps on the lap counter in the middle. It's going to, as soon as the times start dropping, and here we go, starting lap 1, 88, Morgan Teggy up the hill first. And he's going to be the first one, if he gets a clean lap, to get a time. You have to run a clean, flawless lap to get a time on the clock. So you watch Morgan. He was the first one out of the box, so he's the first one that's going to get a time in. Everybody gets the same 15 minutes, but it's good to be spread out a little bit. You don't want to be too bunched up with the other drivers, because you need a little bit of room to make your braking points and get your acceleration on your corners without worrying about who's right behind you or who's right in front of you. It's much easier when you have a little bit of room. As you can see, Morgan has plenty of breathing room. Now, Bob Wallace also got out in the 666. He's there in this black and green with the dark red trim. Almost looks like a black Santa Claus. I don't know if that's okay to say or not, but anyway, he's driving his sleigh down the hill following the tire tracks of Morgan Teggy as they... Oh, Morgan's on an outlap, so Morgan is not going to get a first-time lap. Bob Wallace was the first one out of the box, and Bob will be getting his first lap. You can guarantee that Morgan is going to take off here and get a good lap in as well. Bob usually runs a couple, so if he got a clean one, this will be his first one, and he did. He got his first lap in, and he is running with a 131, and he turns at turn 1 and has to start it over again. He'll flip back over to the pit lane and do her again. Here comes Morgan. Morgan's on his quick lap coming down into turn 2. These Formula One cars are amazing here at this racetrack. The downforce they have lets them go through these corners like just insane. Here's that uphill section we were talking about earlier with the track map. About 550 feet up, and then you go across a little short chute at the top, and then 550 feet back down the other side. As Christian gets out of the way on his outlap, letting Morgan go through. Let's see if Morgan can take away the top spot. Right now, Bob with the first and only time. Here comes Philip Scott across the line, as well as Tim Barnhart. Tim Barnhart does get a time. So Bob Wallace, Will Edwards, Ed Smith, Kelly Bishop, Tim Barnhart, 5 drivers, and Todd Schwartz so far with recorded times. Here we go with Morgan coming across. Now Morgan's going to try for the pole here. We'll see if he does 1 or 2 laps. Now what they can do here in qualifying, they can run, they can set up the car with just enough fuel, which is just barely enough weight to get around, do the timed lap, and then run out of fuel right across the finish line. They can set that up. So Morgan runs his lap, also a 131, comes in third so far in the qualifying session. That makes 7 of the drivers, 7 of the 12 so far with times. But we are getting some more coming across the line. Bob is now coming across. He is on an outlap, so he'll be starting his lap now. Chris Tartamella here in the 44. He's going to finish up his lap, try to get a time. And Chris goes through and does get a time. He moves into 7th with a 138.4. Here comes Adam Novotny. He's always quick. And where does he go? He does not get a time on that lap. So he's still working on getting a time for himself. A bunch of cars going by right now. Will Edwards just comes across the line. He moves into P2. We also saw the 69 car. That is Kelly Bishop. He is in P6. They're moving around a little bit because these times are coming in, moving people around on the pagoda, on the timing stand of these 12 drivers. Next coming across is going to be Kelly Bishop. Now Christian Bishop, sorry about that. Christian doesn't have a time yet. The cars are identical. I mean, you got to give me a little break, right? So here comes Christian down through the chase and across the last corner. This corner is so tricky because you've got to be very patient on the gas. As you can see, you got a little wobble there. Comes across and throws it into P2. Bob Wallace still holding on to that spot. Now what Christian's doing, you can see him take off and get off the racetrack and jump back into the pit lane. What he's doing is he's going into the pit lane. He's going to put that one lap of fuel back in, put a fresh set of these Pirelli P0 tires on the car, soft compound, and he's going to go out there and do it again. Now, Will Edwards doing a little drafting work with his teammate, was in third. Was that enough to get him up in the front? He goes by now and does not improve. Still third for Will Edwards. Let's see, we got 7 minutes to go. We're still cruising here, still cruising. Everybody in for a new set of everything. Here comes Tim Barnhart across the line. Tim was in 10th. Does he improve? And that's a no. Spins in turn 1. Chris Tartamella, P11. Also no change there. And here comes Philip Scott. Now, I race a lot with Philip Scott. I've been racing with him for a couple of years now, and he is always extremely fast. Always very precise and does really good in qualifying. Usually gets up there pretty good. Right now he's in 6th, comes across the line. Does he improve? Not this time. Not this time, still in P6. So Ed Smith has taken the point. Ed Smith was his last lap. In the number 605. Ed's now back on an out lap. They're going to have a time for a couple more, but seeing these laps are a little longer, minute 36, they don't have a lot of time left. It does seem like enough, but the time will get short. About 10 seconds between Ed and Todd right now from 1st to 12th. We'll see if those guys can pick that up a little as Christian Bishop goes across the line and is in 4th spot so far. He dropped down from P2, where Morgan has taken over that P2 spot, and Bob back up into 3rd. Now we got Theo Bishop here with Todd Schwartz in tow. These guys are on their out lap, so they're going to now start their lap. They're really close together. See, this is something I don't usually try to do. I usually try to get a little gap between myself and the driver near me, so I have more free space to make a good lap. But these guys came out real close together there on the start. We'll see how they do going around. Theo coming up the hill, into the chase, into the quarry. And the cut, they call it the cut. A lot of time can be lost or gained in this uphill section. I've seen myself driving pick up tenths of a second on almost every corner up that hill if you just stay in the gas. Really hard to do though, because concrete walls get real close. And then this part here, as you're coming down this part, it's really unnerving as you're coming down there, because you have no idea if the car's going to stick. So that's why there's different times out there. Some of these guys just have the confidence in the car and they'll just take it in and dive down in there. And other guys are going to take it easy and take it slow and make sure they don't spin out. Because I've done that plenty of times. Did it just tonight in my east to west racing. I got that up there on the little roll through. There it is right there, east to west racing. That's my league. We do a little GT racing and some Formula 4 racing. And sponsored by Stair Fittings Incorporated and also by grandpaskitchen.com. Now there's one for you. If you need gluten-free products, if you have celiac disease and need some help with gluten-free items, grandpaskitchen.com is the place to go. These guys have flours and mixes and recipes and all kinds of ideas of how to stay gluten-free and how to take care of yourself in that aspect. These guys are great. grandpaskitchen.com. They will give you free shipping. Hey, whoa, scratch that. Back it up. They will give you 10% off. 10% off every order if you use code BWTV. That's Big Wizard TV, BWTV on the code. And it doesn't work just once, it works every time. You get 10% off on your order. Jump over to grandpaskitchen.com. Get your gluten-free flour. They'll send it to you. I'm telling you what, I've had all the stuff. I've had it all. I've had the cookies, the brownies, the cakes. I love all those things. And I've eaten them all with the gluten-free flour from grandpaskitchen.com. Can't tell the difference. It's awesome stuff. Good stuff. And great people. So check them out. Store or grandpaskitchen.com. All right. Bob Wallace has regained the top spot. Christian Bishop is now in P2. Christian's on another outlap trying to get those tires to the right temperature before he does it again. Only 2.5 minutes, so they're only going to get one more shot at this. Let's watch them as they come across. Here is Theo Bishop coming down the hill to the front, the last corner and into the front straight. Let's see if these guys can make any gains here. Theo currently in P9 and stays in P9. Here comes 605. This is Ed Smith. Third spot. Can he get back to the top? Comes across, and does he improve? Negative. No improvement. And here, oh, he missed the 888. Will's in 5th, now up to the 88. Morgan in 4th. Drop down, does not improve, doesn't change. He's got one more try around. The 44, Chris Tartamella coming across the line now in 12th and moves up to 11th ahead of Tim Barnhart. Christian Bishop trying to get that top spot. He wants the pole. He wants to start out front. He needs to gain those points against Morgan Teggy. Oh, he goes wide. That's an X and does not get the lap to count. Bad form. Doesn't get it. All right. A minute and 35, like I said, minute 35 left, and Christian is done. He won't be able to make it around to do it again. So we've got Kelly Bishop coming around now, finishing this lap up. Kelly in P8. Does he get a good one here? He comes across the line and stays in P8. So no improvement for Kelly. Pretty much got this pretty much locked in. I mean, you can get a couple shockers here. Adam is always quick. Right now in P7, he's usually up a little higher than that. Gets a lap in right here. Is it a good one? And he does have time for one more, and he does not change spots. Woo, tough going tonight. 605. Ed still on the top. Oh, and he just hit the wall. 888, Will Edwards in 6th position. And looks like the time is going to run out. 32 seconds. Will Todd come around? He's in 10th. Will he be able to get another lap started? He's going to try. He's only got 23 seconds. Once he comes across, if he does beat this clock across the line, he will have an opportunity to go one more time. The one guy out on the racetrack, nope, he's done. He's pulling it in. Now, Kelly can improve. He's in 8th, and Adam in 7th. These two guys are just finishing up their last lap as time runs out. So this lap will count. If Kelly can keep it on the track and keep it clean throughout this lap, he will be able to see if he can improve his time. Coming across that start-finish line now. Does he come up from 8th? No. Nope. Still 8th. Adam Novotny in 7th wants to improve. Final corner, turn number 23. Left-hander, full 90-degree corner off bank. Does Adam make any gains on his final attempt? He was in P7 and is now in P7. So there's your order. Ed Smith, Bob Wallace, Morgan Teggy are your top 3. Let me switch back to the other scoreboard. And we'll get the standings up there. Ed Smith, Bob Wallace, Morgan Teggy, Christian Bishop, Philip Scott, Will Edwards, Adam Novotny, Kelly Bishop, Theo Bishop, Todd Schwartz, Chris Tartamella, and Tim Barnhart. It does show you the compounds of the tires they were using out there. I need to... That won't be as big this time as we race because they're only going to use 2 sets of tires in the race. They're not going to use 5 different sets or 4 different sets of tires, unless, of course, something crazy happens, which is indeed possible. But yeah, 0.3 seconds, Ed Smith over Bob Wallace. Only a tenth then separates Bob Wallace from Morgan Teggy and Christian Bishop. Those guys are right on top of each other. Fastest lap time for Morgan, 1:31.03. Fastest lap time for Christian, 1:31.04. 1/100th of a second or less. It's actually about 5 thousandths of a second is the difference there. Pretty tight. All right. So we're getting ready to go right now. The guys are changing their setups. They're getting the cars ready to go. They're getting the correct fuel amount in for the whole race. No fuel stop during Formula One. You cannot come in and get fuel. You must finish the race on the fuel you start with. So that means they have to get enough in there to finish all the laps, 25 laps tonight here at Mount Panorama, also known as Bathurst, one of the famous races here in Australia called the Bathurst 1000, where they actually run 1,000 miles, 1,000 kilometers in the car. Everybody's on track. The lights are coming on. We'll see the green, and then you'll see a little puff of smoke off the tires, and away we go. Ed Smith out front gets the launch, gets a great launch. Bob Wallace misses the start. Morgan Teggy takes advantage, jumps into P2, and then Christian Bishop right there behind in P3. Christian, a little bit of slide. Oh, and is that Bob having trouble in the back? That might be. Oh, that's terrible. Bob up in the top 5 in points, having a really rough start here. Let's see if he can get that figured out and get that car back again and moving. But he dropped back to at least 8th here with that change. We'll see when the scoring will update as they get back around. It's pretty close. I think it is updated now. He's got to be below 8th because he's not on the chart. Ed Smith out in the front, followed by Morgan Teggy, Christian Bishop in 3rd, Philip Scott, Will Edwards, Kelly Bishop, Adam Novotny, all in a row right now. Driving up through Quarry. Does everybody come back down the hill cleanly? We'll find out. We'll try to keep an eye on it. It is a lot of action in a lot of places at the same time as this race gets going. And we watch Bob here as he tries to gather it up. Oh, and he goes around Todd Schwartz. Todd did a little bounce off the wall there, but is still holding his position. Didn't realize Bob was there. He did a little wiggle there, as it looks like Bob's going to get by as they come down through the chase. If Todd were to use that draft, he might be able to give him back something. Todd on the softer compound tires. Now here is where your tire compounds matter. Oh, and the 888 is in the wall. Will Edwards having an issue. Philip Scott also with some trouble there. Let's see if we can go back and catch what happened as they were coming down through the chase. Possibly a little contact. Will going around the inside-outside move. Philip blocks it. Oh, and they just touch. No bueno. All right. Ed Smith, 605, makes it to the point. It's still on the point. Christian Bishop has got by Morgan Teggy. Morgan there in 3rd. Christian moves up into P2. Using that draft coming down the hill is very, very effective. You can see lap 2 already. The field is starting to spread out. These two battling is going to allow Ed to get away. Now, the other thing you have to watch here, Ed is running the soft compound tire off the start. Here's your strategy game. This is where it all comes into play, right here. Ed started on the soft tire. Morgan, Christian, Adam, and Bob are all on the medium tire. Now, Bob did have a rough start. He did have a little trouble getting off the line, but he's already back up to 5th, and he does have a little gap between him and Adam Novotny, but he is closing that gap and catching him. But these 4 guys behind all have the medium compound tire, which means they're going to be able to go a little longer at the start on that medium compound tire. When they switch, they're going to switch to the softs, unless they switch to the hards, which means they're going to switch fairly soon. 25-lap race, they're probably going to go about 15 laps on these medium tires. Then they're going to switch to the softs. The question is, what will Ed Smith try to do? He's got the quicker tires right now. He's going to get some quick laps. Although Bob Wallace, recovering well, has the fastest lap of the race so far after 2. Like I said, he is gaining on Adam Novotny. This battle for second will probably calm down as they're going to try to catch Ed and see if they can get him now. By now, lap 3, the medium tires have warmed up. The soft tires are at their peak, and they are running really quick laps now. Ed hasn't had a clean lap yet, so he doesn't have one counting in the fastest lap marker. Christian with a 134.7, not too far off of Bob Wallace's fast time of 134.2. Let's jump back to Bob here as he's trying to catch up with Adam Novotny. Adam in P4, Bob in P5 after that little bobble and mistake. But Bob made it quickly back through the field, and he is running down Adam Novotny here. 1.1 seconds now the gap. Ever so close, ever slightly so closer. Does that make any sense? No, it doesn't. Getting a little closer. As Philip Scott also trying to recover after his incident early with Will Edwards. And Philip up into P6. Just gets around Kelly Bishop. Let's see if we can watch that there, replay man. Watch that pass. Gets a draft coming down the hill. Through the chase. And the right. Oh, whoa, that was close. If Philip had a problem earlier at the chase when he was going through with Will Edwards, he would have had another one right there. That was really, really close. Kelly Bishop smartly hanging on and not causing an incident there. All right. Let's go back up to the front where Ed Smith in 6:05 leads 1.1 seconds the gap to second place Christian Bishop. Now, if these guys can get within a second, you can watch here with Teggy's car. You can watch as he comes down here to the straightaway. He'll have DRS now that we're on lap 4, and he will be able to use that, open that wing. But Christian Bishop, 0.9 seconds, also takes advantage of the DRS and negates the ability for Morgan to use that to his advantage. Morgan with DRS, but with Christian also running DRS, not going to help. Now here we go for the pass. This is the pass. Bob Wallace gets around, coming down the hill. Looks like the place to pass today, coming into the chase as Bob gets the draft, has the DRS open, and easily goes by Adam Novotny and takes over P4. Thanks, replay man. Christian Bishop up the hill this time with that DRS wing wide open. Morgan has dropped back, but here comes Christian trying for it into turn 2. Thinks again as Ed taking off up the hill with those soft tires. He's going to be able to do those corners a little bit better. Should be able to get out in front. Going to watch the action here as they go up across the top on the ridge, down the hill, into the S's, and they have a car in front of them. Tim Barnhart, lap down, is... No, that's not Tim Barnhart. Never mind. A little early on the lap traffic. They got quite a ways before they catch them. This here, Will Edwards catching up with Kelly Bishop. Will had that incident early with Philip Scott, but is trying to recover and get back up in the near the front. He's got a long way to go. We're only on lap 5. Leader's coming across for lap 6. But I think the lead may be changing soon. We got to come around this turn 1 and see if Christian has a run. He does have the DRS available right there. That stripe, the rear wing opens. You can see that Christian's rear wing is open. There he goes around the outside. He's got a little more ability to get some speed. Top speed is improved with that drag reduction system, DRS. in play. Oh, and he goes into the wall wide into turn 2. A little too quick coming up the hill, giving Morgan Teggy a chance, but that lets our leader Ed Smith go right back to the point. A little bobble there, and Morgan may be able to take advantage of this one. And hopefully that did not hurt the tires on Christian Bishop's car. Slid off in turn 2 into the wall hard. Healing damage fixed the car, but yeah, this one right back at it. These guys back at it for second spot. Everybody else pretty well running on their own, in their own space at the moment. Bob Wallace still clicking off some very fast laps. He's running medium compound tires, but he's running really close. Christian's got the quickest lap of the race with 134.2. Bob also with a 134.2, and they're both running 134, 135 range, only about a half second apart. So Bob is still clicking off some good laps. He's got the thing back under him after that poor start and into fourth spot and holding his own to the leaders. Philip Scott in P5, running pretty smoothly now. 134.5 is his quickest. Pretty close, only 0.3 off the leader. As Philip getting his feet wet. Now I raced against Philip here at this track just a few weeks ago in the Formula 4 car, which is quite a bit less downforce, quite a bit less horsepower than these monsters. And Philip ran an extremely fast lap right at the end of the race, which beat my fastest lap time, so I wasn't really happy about it. But good job for Philip. He is always ready to go. Always. Oh, and he gets loose coming up the hill. Oh, and he gets benched up on the wall. Can he get back on the ground? He can. Healing damage fixes the car, loses a couple spots, drops back behind Will Edwards and Kelly Bishop. He's not going to be happy with that. But going up the hill, just loses it. We happen to be watching that one right on the camera. And front and center, we watch Philip Scott lose control of the car and into the wall going up the hill at the cut. Christian Bishop taking the lead from Ed Smith. Let's see if we can get a replay on that. It looks like another downhill, another DRS, and another chance here if he can hold on to it and not mess up coming around turn 2. This time he's coming down the hill. Last time he did it going up the hill. And into the chase. He should be able to hold on to this quite well. There he goes. As Christian Bishop takes the lead of the race. Morgan right there in third. He's only a couple seconds back. He's just kind of holding. He's just holding his own, biding his time. Maybe he's waiting for that second half of the race when the soft tires go on. Christian a little wide going up the hill, working that car pretty heavily. He's wearing it out a little bit, and Ed is trying to make him pay, but Christian gets it back under him and keeps it rolling. This is some exciting action up front here today as these two drivers going back and forth for the lead. Christian currently out in the front. One little bobble, one little mistake, swoop, and they switch by. Just goes right past him. Oh, and Ed hard into the wall. Morgan goes by for second. Ed repairs the car and keeps going. Bob Wallace is thinking, I'm getting you. I'm coming. But that was simply Ed pushing too hard into that corner. Let's go back and catch it again. He's trying to catch Christian coming down through the S's and just goes a little bit too far, too deep into that left-hander. Car does get itself righted again, and off he goes. But Morgan Tiggy gets by, and that lets Morgan have P2. Not sure if Morgan will make any adjustments or changes to the way he's going. He is 1.5 seconds behind the leader, Christian Bishop, but he is also way ahead in points. So Morgan can just take his time, drive smooth, drive clean, not worry about incidents or errors. Just drive it nice and clean, and he will still have the points lead by a bunch if he comes in P2. Let's go through the field. We'll go up front. Number 26, Christian Bishop, out in the front, running the medium compound tires. We're at lap 9 out of 25. My guess, he's going to try to go at least 15 on these yellow-clad Pirelli tires. Currently out in the front. Started a little bit back. He started without... he started up in third, I believe, and has made his way up into the lead. Number 88, Morgan Teggy, running clean so far. Having a great race. P2. He fell back to P3 for a little bit. Rode there most of the beginning of the race, and then had his opportunity and grabbed the the second spot away. And nope, Ed Smith back around. Ooh, that is Tim. Is that Chris Tarn? No, I don't know who that was. Oh, that not looking good there. Boom, I couldn't quite see the number on the back of that one, but I think that, yep, that was Chris Tartamella. He'll wait for that car to get repaired and keep it going, but no good there for Chris. He's not happy with that one, and he will keep it rolling. But this swap for second here, looks like Morgan just got it back from Ed Smith. These guys, Ed is not taking any prisoners today. He is going after everything he can get. Morgan with those medium compound tires. Now Ed's 10 laps in on the softs. Are they done? Is his time to come in and pit? Is it at the end of this lap? We will see. Is he able to keep those speeds up? And right now, Christian has just recently run the fastest lap of the race with 134.1, and Ed with the 134.8, 134.9, holding his own lap per lap, but still not able to get any gain. Even with those soft compound tires, we'll see if maybe he'll come in at the end of this one, maybe the next one, and see if he can get those tires changed. Now here goes a tire change already. Philip Scott already swapping out for the hards. He went from the softs right to the hard compound tires. There he goes. Ed Smith into the pit lane. In the 605, misses that just a little bit. No big error there. You just have to keep it slowed down. Right there at the yellow cone, you have to get it down to a crawl as you go through this pit lane. Ed Smith loses the spot to Bob Wallace as he comes in, but he'll get that back. Chris Tartamella also slowing, and I think in the pit lane. Yes, he is in the pit lane as well. We'll see what Ed does here. He should be switching over to the mediums. We'll see. The car goes up, tires come off, tires go back on, and away he goes on the medium yellow compound tires. He drops back behind Kelly Bishop in front of Adam Novotny so far, and will stay there. Kelly Bishop here in the 69 car started on the medium, still going to go a little bit farther. I would predict that these guys are going to try to go 15 and then switch them out for the softs and do those last 10 laps on the soft compound tires. Christian Bishop, we were trying to go through the field, but it got kind of messed up with a couple incidents there. Now they are in lap traffic. Tim Barnhart in front of these guys through one of the tightest parts of the racetrack. Tim trying to let him go by, but ends up getting in the way, which puts Morgan in a position. Oh, and what the luck! The luck is on Christian's side because he was behind the lap car of Tim Barnhart. He also got DRS and prevented Morgan from getting a pass for the lead. But Morgan is still there. If he stays within that 1 second gap here, down to the bottom half and through across the start-finish line, he'll get DRS again, coming up the hill, and see if he can take advantage. Right now, just 0.4 of a second behind. They come around this turn 1, and we'll see the DRS flap open when they cross that stripe on the pavement. There it goes. Is he close enough? Is half a second enough? I don't think it is. Christian's running some really good lap times. Here he comes. Morgan's coming in hard. Gets it in close within 0.2, but not close enough to make the move as they go up the hill into the quarry. So there's your leader, 1-2. Downhill seems to be a little better place to make that pass. We'll see if Morgan tries it again coming down the hill. This time a little tighter so far. Just 0.1 of a second If he can keep this gap coming down through the S's, he will be able to be close enough. But he had to let off a little bit there, and now he's that half-second gap. The lines are different. Morgan's line and Christian's line are a little bit different coming down through the S's, and that made it a little bit harder. Now we're 0.6 of a second. I don't think he's close enough. He does have DRS. He'll close it back up, but it's not close enough to make the pass. He's got to have the gap down to about 0.2 of a second as they enter the DRS zone. So you can see, you can get right up alongside him. Oh, he's going to try it. He's alongside. Oh, and Christian slides coming into the turn at the chase, and Morgan takes the lead. Oh, my goodness. What a move. Can we watch it again? Let's watch it again. I want to watch it again. Do you want to watch it again? Let me know. Let me know what you guys think. Uses DRS, gets alongside. Christian turns in and has to positive lock the wheel to keep it from spinning. Morgan goes by and takes the lead. What a move. But now Christian has the DRS coming up the hill. Can Morgan get enough space between him and second place to break that draft? And guess who's here? Look who's here. And if you were watching last week, you'll know that I always said not to count Bob Wallace out. Never count him out. He is right there in third spot. He's only 2.5 seconds off the leader, and he is right there waiting for these guys to make a mistake. He is in the catbird seat. Morgan out in front by just a half a second. Christian staying right there with him. They're coming down through the S's and down into the elbow here. The elbow is definitely one of the trickier spots of this racetrack right here. Lots of cars spin there. Morgan has 0.8. That's not enough to break that draft far enough. See, Christian has his DRS wing open. He's going to close it in. 0.3. Does he have enough? Is he going to try the same move Morgan did last lap? Not close enough. Not this time. These guys are punishing those medium compound tires, pushing them as hard as they possibly can. They are on lap 13, about to click off the end of lap 13. I would say 2 to 3 to 4 laps, and these guys will be switching those tires out. Todd Schwartz in the pit lane, getting his car serviced. I don't see a second set of tires. There we go. 12 laps he ran. Oh, and Christian did get by going up the hill. There they go. He uses the DRS to get by, and then he hits the wall. Oh, and he lets Morgan get by. Here they come up the hill. Up the mountain, they call it. With the DRS open, gets by around the outside. But he's going a little faster than he's used to, apparently, when he hits that DRS open. Second time he's gone into that turn and hit that wall, bounced off of it. Fortunately for the healing damage on with this session, he doesn't lose more than just the spot at the front. But this might give Morgan, if Morgan's got some momentum, he might be able to break that link and get more than a second away. Right now, 0.8. Coming up the hill, back to 0.6. Christian is fast here. He is definitely fast, down to 0.4. So Christian's going to have DRS coming down the hill. Probably be in a position where he can make another move. Aren't we on live? We're not. And he does make the move. I thought we were on live. Hey, PR man, or repo, whatever, replay man. How come we're not on live? Here comes Christian. DRS open down the hill, and from only 0.3 back, makes this easy and goes right around for the position. Does Morgan want to keep this battle going where he's back and forth? I think close enough to use DRS. Will he try to go by again going up the hill? Not sure. I think Morgan's going to be usually patient. He is in the points lead, so he doesn't have a lot to lose here. It is a few extra points, first to second. As Christian, little bobble going up the hill. We're on lap 15. These mediums might be done. The rear tires might have lost all they had for grip. We'll see. Time's still pretty quick, 1:35. Oh, the tire compounds are messing me up here. Tire compounds, what are you doing to me, man? What are you doing to me? What Let's see. Oh, they are unlocked. Okay, fine. Morgan with the draft again, coming down the hill, 4/10, 3/10. Man, this is a great place to make a pass because of how much you can gain coming down this hill. He's in the same spot again on the inside as they enter the chase. Christian does not lose grip there that time. Holds around the outside and holds on to the position. And there he goes. Morgan goes in. The end of lap 15, as predicted. 10 to go this time by, and Morgan is going to switch one lap sooner. He had that opportunity because he was in second spot. Christian already committed to go straight. Morgan dives in. He's going to get one extra lap on those soft compound tires. Can he make the difference? I'm going to guarantee you Christian will be in this lap to get his tires. There's no way Christian is going to let him go more than just one lap because the soft tires are faster. Will Edwards also in fourth spot going in. Ed Smith now coming out, already pitted. And Ed Smith moving up into third spot in the 605. Christian Bishop still out front. Bob Wallace not. The top two have not come in yet. Morgan is out of the pits. He's out behind the 605. This is now for position. Both cars have pit. But, as we said earlier, Ed is on the medium compound tires for the finish. Morgan and Christian are on the soft compound tires for the finish. So let's see how it plays out as they come out across the line here. Christian coming down the hill. After the chase is this little 3-corner angle piece. Turn here, and then the hard chicane here. That is the chase. That's why I keep calling that the chase, because that's what it is. He's diving in the pits, and Bob Wallace right behind. So these two are going to come in and get their soft compound tires after 16 laps on the mediums. Ooh, a little lockup there from Christian. Did he come in too hot? We'll find out if he sits there. But the question will be Ed Smith and Morgan Teggy. Notice Morgan didn't challenge. He's just trying to get the quickest lap possible so these guys can come around and get out in front of Bob and Christian that are in the pits. But I think there he goes, Ed Smith to the point. And there he is. There's Christian right behind. And gets DRS right out of the pit lane. Here goes Morgan on those soft compound tires going around Ed Smith for the lead. Gets back into position to drop the correct angle on that corner going up the hill. And they've got some lap traffic in front of them now with Theo Bishop right in front of them. And we'll see. Morgan's got a lap already on those tires. He's gotten out in front of Christian. Has a little bit of a gap now with Ed Smith in between. Bob Wallace up into fourth still. Will Edwards in fifth position. Philip Scott, Kelly Bishop are in the top 7. These guys are pushing hard, and they are making these guys nervous as Theo Bishop has to be just trying to hold on with all 3 of these cars right behind him. Going to open up the DRS as they come down through the elbow and down into the chase area. Morgan should be able to make this pass pretty clean. Ed might be too far back to make it on this run. Christian definitely too far back. Ed does make it. Oh, and Ed spins and Ed goes off into the grass and he does not hit the wall. But that is going to lose the chances for Ed as Bob Wallace goes by. That is not what Ed wanted to see as he's dropped back to the back of that line behind Christian, Bob, and Bob in P3. Can Ed make it back up? He's got to get around the lap traffic of Theo Bishop and then go after Bob Wallace. We'll see how that goes. Right now, 2.6 seconds the gap. Oh, and there's a car. Chris Tartamella is stuck in the quarry. He's in the middle of the racetrack. Oh, no, he turned. Okay. Never mind. Problem averted. That would have been real tight as the leaders were coming up the hill and he was sideways up into the cut. Morgan cuts that a little bit too tight, grabs the dirt, but no harm, no foul. We're on lap 18 now. We're getting down to the wire. We've only got a few laps to go. These guys have their soft compound tires on. They're going to be ripping off some laps now. Christian Bishop, 134.1. Last lap for Morgan, 134.7. And Christian was in the pits last lap. They're coming down the hill. Oh. Christian out in the front here. Bob's got to get by Todd Schwartz. Ed Smith right in tow. We never did get through the field. This thing has been action-packed from the start. Morgan's out front. 26, Christian Bishop in P2. Bob Wallace in the 666. No Fox given on the team. Ed Smith in the 605. Started up front. Now P4. Will Edwards in the 888 in P5. Philip Scott after early incident and an off track. Went to the hard compound tires on lap 7 at the end of lap 7, and he is in P6. Kelly Bishop in the 69 is running in P7, followed by Adam Novotny in the 326. And that gap is huge. Todd Schwartz in the 420 in P9. Theo Bishop in the 36. P10 with Tim Barnhart in the number 3 in P11. Chris Tartamella in the 44 has pulled into the pit lane after that spin and has decided to stay where he was. Christian not able to close that gap. Still 2.5 seconds. Dropped a little through the top, but yeah, 2.5, 2.5, 2.6 seconds. Morgan trying everything he can. You can see those rear tires smoking as he goes down through the left-hand elbow. That one of the tightest and roughest corners on the racetrack. They are top 3 line of stern now, but the gaps are pretty good. 3 seconds separate first to second and second to third. Morgan coming around to finish lap 19. He's got 6 to go as he crosses the stripe. One little bobble, one little mistake into the wall. Try to gather it back up, get it back out there. That's all it takes to lose this. He's on the soft compound tires. I've watched Morgan do this so many times. End of the race, run it flawless. He wants 4 in a row. He wants to win them all. He wants every win all season. That's what Morgan's like. He just keeps pushing and tries to get it. Down to 1 viewer. We had 3 at one time. Hopefully it was fun, but nobody said anything. No mentions, no posts, no messages, nothing. Just me here by myself. Me and my 1 viewer. Let me know who you are, man. You gotta at least follow, and then you can post. And let me know what you think. What's going on? As we watch Morgan go around into the dipper one more time. Through the elbow and down the hill. With these guys running these quick laps, I would say there's a good chance that we might be lapping some more cars here. Right now, Chris Tartamella and Philip Scott off the racetrack. Philip Scott has thrown it in. He has thrown in the towel. Philip Scott is off track and done. We'll see if he comes back. Maybe it was a glitch. We'll find out. Don't think so. He is showing off server. Adam Novotny in P7. 133.7, fastest lap of the race. This is what Adam can do. He can run very, very quick. He hasn't had the greatest night. He's not real happy with his performance. He is what you would call a long ways behind P6. But look at that. He's run a 133.7. And now Chris Tartamella has changed tires once again and pushed my little graphic over off the screen. Chris, stop messing up my graphics. Okay, better. All right, Morgan Teggy out front. Christian Bishop has closed the gap. Morgan gets DRS down the hill as he goes by Tim Barnhart. Another car a lap down. Christian also, no, Christian does not have DRS. So big advantage for Morgan there, stretches out to 1.82 seconds as Christian is gaining. Morgan with the lead. Bob Wallace in third. Ed Smith in the 605, 6 seconds back. Not in a position to pounce at this point. Will Edwards in fifth in the 888, followed by Kelly Bishop in the 69 car in P6. Adam Novotny we just looked at in P7. Todd Schwartz in the 420, running in P8, comes across the line and just gets passed by the leaders. Top four have gone past. This one could be coming down to the wire. Morgan and Christian could have a battle. It is closing up. It's not there yet. Christian is almost within DRS range. It's got to get down to that 0.9 number as they come down the hill here. If he can do it and get DRS as they come down through the chase, he will have that advantage. If he does not get close enough, and Morgan's going to do everything he can to make sure he's not, then he will not have DRS and he will not have that advantage. He's just got to do it on raw speed, raw cornering speed and exit speed. He does have a little bit of an edge coming down the hill. He's at 1 second now. He might be able to get that DRS open going up the hill, but right now he's still just outside 1.3 seconds. Finishing up lap number 22. 3 to go. This time by. And Morgan holding off that gap and not allowing Christian to get that DRS. Now it's 0.9, but I think they already passed the line to get it. 1 second. Yeah, no DRS for Christian. Within 1 second, though, going up that hill, you do get a little bit of a draft. He is close enough to get the draft, but not enough to gain, as Christian cannot gain it. Now he's back to 0.9 again. This is back and forth here, and this battle is going to determine. This is the last few laps, and this is for the win. Christian definitely wants to get this victory. He's going to do everything he can to get this victory away from Morgan. Morgan with 3 in a row. He doesn't want to give him 4 in a row. He wants to keep this championship and this chase, this series close enough. Christian definitely close enough to be able to get the draft coming down the chase this time. There's nobody in front of him. Chris Barnhart's out there a little ways, but he's quite a ways out there. They should... No, that's Adam Novotny. Sorry, Adam Novotny in front of him, but he's still a second or so. He should not be a factor here. Oh, he's just letting him go. He's slowing down and letting him go. Letting his teammate get by. 0.2. Will Christian have enough to try to make this move? He's trying. He's down close, but Morgan just locks the door. But I think up the hill, Christian is in position to, if he can stay close right here and stay, yeah, he's right there behind him. Christian gets a good run off this first corner. He is going to be able to take him up the hill with the DRS wide open. Flap down, and away they go. Christian's going to have that extra boost of speed because he doesn't have that extra drag in there. Here he goes around the outside. Morgan is protecting the inside corner into 2. Christian around the outside. We've seen him hit this corner a couple times. Side by side up through the cut. Can it work? Probably not. Morgan backs off just a little. We'll see if he's close enough to get him back down through the chase next time. Now, I would think that if I were in this position, I would get as close as I could get and stay in second spot. Just stay on the bumper until we get to the final lap. This is lap 24. They're coming around for the white flag. But make sure you're close enough that DRS flap will open up when you come down the chase on the final lap. And get right there in second spot, half a second behind, get that DRS and get on by and take the win. But as close as you can get, you want to be as close as possible on the final lap right here in second spot. So I'm going to think that Morgan is going to try to keep this close as he possibly can. Get in tight, coming down the hill. Christian with a great run down the hill. Morgan with almost zero gain on that. With the DRS, no gain at all. He actually lost 3/10 of a second. So Christian really pouring it on here. White flag is out. 1 lap to go. Here's our leader, Christian Bishop, out in the front. Morgan Teggy trying to catch, but he is 1.1 back. He does not get DRS. He is not going to have DRS going up the hill. He's going to lose some ground unless he can use that draft. He's getting a little bit. He's got a good uphill speed there. No mistakes coming up and over through the cut, over the quarry, over the top. Now Morgan 1 second, 0.9 seconds. Oh, and a little bobble there from Christian. That might be enough. We'll see if Morgan can take advantage. 0.6 of a second. The gap now half a second. He needs to be within about a half a second as they come down the hill through the S's and off that elbow corner. Now down to 0.2 of a second. Morgan pouring it on. If he has the draft has that DRS coming down the hill, there is nothing that Christian is going to be able to do. They are close. Half a second. They're coming around through the elbow now. Oh, and Morgan just with a great launch gets the DRS open here. And does he have enough? Half a second. Last time through here, Christian just pulled away. And Morgan is not gaining. He's coming down through this section of the racetrack with DRS open, and he is not gaining. 0.3 of a second now as they come in through the chase. This one looks like it belongs to Christian unless he makes a mistake coming down this last corner. They're coming down. One more left-hander. Christian out in front by 0.3 of a second. Comes across the line with the victory. Christian Bishop wins at Mount Panorama. Wow, what a run. What a run to the line. Great race. Man, what a show these guys put on today. Couldn't even break away. Christian Bishop, Morgan Teggy, Bob Wallace takes third. And that's Ed Smith coming in fourth spot. The 888. Will Edwards comes across the line in fifth. A couple of lap cars here. We got the 420 and the number 3 coming across. Just some excellent action tonight. We watch Theo Bishop in P9. He comes across, and Kelly Bishop comes across in P6. Great run for Kelly. Really good run for him. I think we'll have some pretty excited drivers here in a few minutes as we'll jump down here to the booth and see if we can talk to these guys. But some great action. Wow, what a race. What a drive. Christian Bishop takes the win. Morgan Teggy, second place. 0.3 was the gap at the line. Bob Wallace comes in third. Could be a great finish for him. Ed Smith, leading up front early, takes his licks and ends up in P4. Will Edwards with an incident on lap 1 picks it back up and comes around to P5. And Kelly Bishop in P6. Wow, what a race. What a race. That was awesome. Let's see if we can get these guys down here. Watch them come around. What they're going to do is, the reason they're doing this is they're going to come around and park the cars 1, 2, 3 order. Oh, they're going to try the jump. That's right. They're going to try the jump. Oh! There they go. Nicely done. Oh, he doesn't land it on the wheels, though. There goes another one. Oh, upside down. Everybody's upside down. Oh, here's their teammates trying to help them out by pushing them back over. Some fun at the end of this one. That's what's great about iRacing. You can race throughout the race, and then at the end of the race, you can just throw it up there and drive it into the wall and have a lot of fun. What a cool display there at the end. These guys trying to get their cars back down to the start-finish line. We'd like to get the photo op on the front straight. Looks like everybody's back over that's going to be over. And they're going to roll back down to the start-finish. Christian, Morgan, and Bob with a little podium action here. after some shenanigans at the end of the race. That was great. We'll hopefully have him come down here in a second. We'll give him a chat, talk to him, and see what their take was on this incredible Australian Grand Prix from down under Mount Panorama. Let's see if I can get a better picture. And from the back, and from the back. Some great pictures from the back of the cars. Yeah, I don't think so, guys. It's not working. Sorry, it ain't working. Oh, well, there it is. There's the race. Christian Bishop, as I said, Morgan Teggy, Bob Wallace. That'll change up the points a little bit, but not the order. Morgan Teggy with a P2 will not lose his spot. And there he is. Hey, Morgan, he's in the booth with us now. Hey, Morgan, it's Ron in the booth. How is it going tonight?
Hey, it's going. How are you?
I'm doing awesome. You guys, you and Christian and Ed, you guys put on a show that was for the ages, man. You were back and forth and back and forth. I was trying to go through the field like 3 or 4 times during the race. No chance. I was always up front watching you guys.
Yeah, those guys were fast today. I feel lucky to be second.
That was a show. That really was. You had at one point it looked to me like you were quicker when you guys got to the red compound tires, but I don't know what happened. I lost him. I lost my visual.
I think I was on them about a lap too early because they started giving up the ghost just 1 lap too soon. I started sliding in places where it made it so I couldn't get close enough to Christian to pass him on the back straight.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was fun to watch. You'd get by. He had a great run when he had DRS open. Nobody could touch him. I mean, it was unbelievable how quick he was.
Yeah, he's got that last turn there figured out.
Definitely. Yeah, it was really cool to watch. You guys were back and forth. If he had DRS off turn 1, he had a great launch off turn 1. If he was within a half a second of you, he'd get you. What was incredible is those last 2 laps. Now the last lap you gained quite a bit on him, but not quite enough to get him in the chase. But coming off the elbow with 1.5 or so, right before you come up to the white flag, he took off, and you were behind him with DRS, and he pulled away. I mean, that's amazing. He must have had just a great launch off the elbow.
I'm guessing he had a lot more battery, because my car just wouldn't pull on him there, but I had been using it to help fend him off up to that point. That's my guess. Maybe you can weigh in.
I never touched the battery, so that could be it. Explain it, honestly.
Yeah, you guys are coming up to the white flag. Yeah, white flag run, and you just pulled away coming down the hill off the elbow into the chase. You just had him. So when I thought if Morgan could stay close enough, the spot to be would be a half a second back coming off that last elbow on the last lap, but he was 0.9 away. He just couldn't do it. He got within 0.3, but that was as far as he could go. So great race, Christian. Good job holding them off there at the end. What a battle. It was great to watch.
Yeah, that was like maybe the most fun race I've done in a long time. And when I came out of the pits and I was right next to Morgan and Ed, and then Bob was right behind me coming out of the pits. It was just crazy. Like you can't write that shit.
Yeah, undercut worked great, but then I think those last couple laps, Morgan, like you were saying, the tires just gave up and didn't hold you there. So, but great run all the way to the line, back and forth throughout the entire race. Bob looked like he was just sitting there waiting for anything to happen so he could take advantage, and he did a couple times.
He
got real close,
man, on the green. If he had a better launch, that would have been a very different race.
Yeah.
I needed them to fight more, which they refused to do for some reason.
Yeah, we were really polite in the mountain. It was great.
Well, watch the replay.
I appreciated that.
Watch the replay, Bob. Going up the hill and down the hill, they were not polite. Just at the top and at the bottom.
I was telling these guys if I can get my launch situation done up a little better, I think I can challenge these guys throughout an entire race.
I mean,
Definitely,
you're
definitely.
already right there.
You have the speed tonight. Christian ended up with the fastest lap of the race, but not by much. Morgan only 2/10 off. So, great run
You
tonight.
need that point.
Yeah, all the points you can get, right?
These guys taking that pole point every race. I literally have not gotten a pole in 2 seasons.
Well, you got to win for this one.
Yeah, can't complain,
Yeah,
obviously, but
you got to win on this
shit.
one.
Talk about some freaking racing in these things. That
Yeah,
was wicked.
really close, really fun, all the way around,
People say
flag
it
to
can't be
flag.
done.
Well, I'll tell you what. I was trying to go, like I was telling Morgan earlier. I was trying to go through the field, and show you where everybody was at. My through the fields were like 5 seconds per car. I had no time to talk about anybody else but the 5 of you guys up front. So Ed was up front
there was a
early.
lot
He
of
got a
action,
great
man.
launch. I thought he was going to do great, and then he had an issue. But Christian, when you got by him, you actually would use the DRS going up the hill off of turn 1, and then you'd be going so fast into turn 2, you'd misjudge that corner, and you bounce off the wall a little bit. You did it a couple times, but
the first time I got on inside, and I think I just hit the dust in the marbles.
yeah.
It just locked up as soon as I hit the brakes, and then I'm just grateful for healing damage. And then
Yeah.
the second time I was just, I don't know, I thought he was gonna stay there, and he didn't, and I left way more room than I needed to, even if he did stay there. But
Yeah, it was great. It was great to watch. DRS was in play.
Sorted that out by the end.
Yeah, tire compounds were in play. Everybody was doing their best tonight. It was really, really good show. So
to have 4 of these cars within 16 seconds of each other, 5 and 25 seconds, that's better than real F1.
yeah, no kidding. Usually it's just a
Way
two-man
better
show.
than real F1.
like Jesus.
Yep, it was solid. Well, I'm going to bring the stream down to a close. Thanks again to Procraft for hosting and sponsoring our Formula One races. This is Ron with Big Wizard TV saying thanks again for watching. And when you're out there, do not race on the road. Be safe. Go home. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your time. Don't race on the road. Race on iRacing. We're right here every Thursday night. Get yourself an iRacing account. Join the league. Run the race. Have a good night, everybody.
Thanks for broadcasting again, Ron.
Yep.
As always.
Good night, all.
Good night, Ron.
Well, there it is. That's the end. Hopefully it didn't echo. I've been trying to figure out how to get the audio to work, and hopefully that didn't echo. Maybe I need to fix something. Maybe I was echoing. Let me know. Throw it out in the chat, the empty chat. You can tell me what's going on. Have a great night, everybody. We'll go ahead and kick this over to YouTube TV or YouTube for the final the final resting place of this broadcast. Have a great night, all. On behalf of Big Wizard TV, our sponsors, Grandpa's Kitchen, and Stair Fittings Incorporated, this is Ron saying goodnight.